Hi everybody, my name's Kelly Phones. I'm an educator here at Montavilla Sewing Centers located in the Portland, Oregon area. Today we're working with the Janome Memorycraft 9450, and I want to talk to you about the favorite stitch feature on this machine. It's one of my favorite things on the Janomes. To turn it, first thing you want to do is go in to your settings and scroll over and favorite stitch adjustment. So you want to make sure that's on, and if it's turned off, you won't have the right button. So make sure that's turned on, hit OK, and we'll be good to go. Now what your favorite stitch adjustment does is it allows you to customize every single stitch in the machine. So if I'm working with a zigzag, for example, I'm going to expand our edit screen, and I want to make that zigzag a lot wider. So see right here, you can see it's a whole lot wider, and I want to make it a lot tighter. Say I'm setting up an applique stitch of some kind. So now I have a pretty dense satin stitch, and maybe I've decreased the tension on that a little bit because I have made that stitch quite a bit wider. Oh, that's probably not going to work very well. And I'm going to leave my pressure alone. Now I'm working on a project. I'm going to be using this a lot. So I want to save this variation as my default. So all I have to do is hit FS, which stands for favorite stitch, and I'm going to save that into the file folder. Now you'll see the settings that I've customized are now highlighted in yellow. I can close this, and anytime I select this, I'm going to see that I've changed that default. So if I go to what the kids in my sewing classes call the Harry Potter stitch, if I go back here, those changes are going to be stored. Now, there may be times when you want to go back to the machine default temporarily. All you have to do is hit DFT, and it reverts to the default settings that have been selected by the manufacturer. But if I go back to this straight stitch and go back here, those favorite stitch settings are still there. Now say I'm done with my very lengthy applique project, and I know I'm probably not going to want to keep this zigzag customized anymore. I'm going to go back up to favorite stitch settings, and I'm going to delete that setting. So this time when I go to default, it's going to stay there. Now it doesn't matter if I'm doing a zigzag or if I come here and I select a satin stitch and I go ahead and elongate it, I can still save that as my favorite stitch. So you can save, you can change your default on pretty much every stitch in the machine. So take advantage of this favorite stitch adjustment. For years, when I would need to keep track of the settings for a project, I would put a little piece of blue tape on my machine with the stitch I'm using, the length, the width, all of those details, and I would put that blue piece of tape on my machine. So I equate this favorite stitch adjustment feature to having built-in blue tape on my machine. Use it all the time. It's terrific. If you have any questions about using this or anything else on your 9450, go ahead and give me a call at our Beaverton location. Happy sewing, everybody.